location. Marketability, ma'am says.
How strategic a particular land is located. Connectivity.
Connectivity. Thanks. Thanks, man. Right. Infrastructural requirements is what he says. Connectivity. Okay. Absolutely. Infrastructurally, how good it is. Connectivity is as good as it gets. Thank you.
Seismic zone.
Pardon, sir?
Seismic zone.
Okay. Are you in a, right, that's a good one, right? Honestly, I've not been looking into this part, but that's a good point, right? Is it a disaster prone area? Okay, disaster prone area, okay. I'll take two more opinions. Yes, sir. Shobit, sir.
Whether it's a forest land or
Agriculture, non-agriculture. So, land use, okay. Land use, that's a good one. Environmental clearances, right? Thanks to Mr. Jairam. Nowadays, at least we are discussing these things. Earlier, this was not being discussed. Okay. Environmental clearances, okay. Okay, it's part of this.
depends on purpose of the project. So if your project is that depends on whether you need infrastructure more or you need more demographics of population to reach it.
Fair enough. So you'll have some which will be located near the raw material suppliers, some which will be located near the customer market. Yeah, fair enough, sir. Fair enough. Yes.
Security.
In
our nation, there's a national balance.
Okay.
So
Okay.
for large projects, especially power plants.
Fine. That makes sense. That really makes sense. Can I add to this, please? Beyond that, this was something newer.
Any costs given by the state governments, national,
Ha.
central government.
Fine. Fine. So what I'm trying to focus on is, apart from your esteemed points, thank you very much. I have realized one thing that really goes in when we are talking to clients, right, and when we are talking to companies, they're looking for very, very clearly, they're looking for tax benefits or financial benefits. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. This is, thank you very much. In fact, this disaster was something new, which I promptly acknowledged. And these were obviously very nice points, okay, very, very nice points. My job is to also tell you that you need to locate, sometimes this is getting into a big discussion area with clients, like one of my clients, Wärtsilä. Very, very clearly, Wärtsilä has now decided that, yes, even if I don't have infrastructure requirements, even if the infrastructure is not great, can I please try and locate, this is what Mr. Kamble says, can I try and locate my project in an SEZ? SEZ, ma'am, stands for Special Economic Zone. Can I locate in an area which, now this one is slightly dated, right, very few areas give this benefit, but right, SEZ is very common, right, and the moment I said it, some of my esteemed colleagues immediately started nodding. The other part I wanted to say is, this is slightly dated, okay, you have very few areas that gets in what is known as backward area benefits. Baddi is almost through, it's almost over now. Uttaranchal also it is there, but it's almost phased out now. Almost, but it's still there. I'm not saying it is not there, it is still there. But please understand the area adjoining, especially the consultants who are looking for some value add, pleasure sharing this, sir. The area adjoining Jammu and Kashmir, especially Jammu region, we find that there are certain regions, right, where the government has now promoting it as backward area benefits. Now, when you say backward area benefits, not an SEZ, please note, Mr. Pradap, right, not an SEZ. SEZ is slightly, I don't need to explain to my dear friend, for the others, SEZ is slightly bigger, right. So, are we looking at something where we don't have a size which is equal to an SEZ? Do you want tax benefits? Do you want financial benefits? The answer is yes. You could call it as backward area. That region in and around Jammu and Kashmir, right, Jammu especially, I leave it to you all to take the research forward, right, don't mind sharing my consulting experience, right, it's known as a deemed backward area. Infrastructure, connectivity, great start, disaster, beautiful point. As a consultant, my humble request, and I think I'm giving back something to my profession, my esteemed company sitting out here, please note, and obviously, and the consultants sitting out here, we have a social responsibility to our clients. Please note, the benefit here is tax holidays. It's a clear tax holiday. It is not a tax deferral. A tax holiday basically means, right, for those who are looking at the basics, right, I hope I'm carrying everybody along. Please note, a tax holiday basically means no taxes at all. You don't pay any taxes, right? For somebody was like, quick, right? Ever for a period of India, it's not Dubai, right? For a period of 5 years. That this deemed backward area is 5 years. Backward area benefits is typically, right, 5 out of a block of 10 years. SEZ, I'm sure most of you all know, it's 10-year tax holidays out of a block of 15 years. Please note, it is, one sec, Mr. Pawan, always a pleasure. Please note, we are talking of tax holidays. The second thing that can be done is, right, the second thing that can be done is, so one sec, always a pleasure, is tax deferral. Tax deferral not as conducive, Mr. Krishnan, as, shall I say, Mr. Krishnan, again, as tax holiday, but it still gives benefits, ma'am. The benefit is, the word deferral, ma'am, is very simple. The word deferral is, right, what you need to pay today, you are deferring it to a subsequent period, right? I leave it to your august audience to, right, within my group, Kishore, ex-general manager, ICICI, we have all together as a group. I personally feel this is beneficial. I'm not going to get into a discussion here, right? I'm not going to get into a discussion here. I personally believe that this is beneficial. One of my group members, team members, right, he says, Menon, you don't even say this to an audience. You don't even tell this to a consultant, right? As a consultant, don't even say this because this is not as useful as this, right? I'll tell you why. I'm not here to discuss is it good or bad. We don't have time for that, not at all. But I'll tell you why I wanted to say this. A tax deferral may not be as good as tax holiday, but still it makes sense that, okay, today I'm not paying. I'm at least saving that money, I'm investing. What is a deferral? Deferral basically means, sir, ma'am, is whenever I grow in size, I need to start paying the taxes. So I personally believe, right, and say personal believe that the government is doing something to promote industries. And wherever it can't give a tax holiday, it is giving a tax deferral. And the third thing that I would like to say in land is, sometimes in certain states, I heard that, this came from a dear friend, right, the state, right, sorry, I can't recollect who, but one among us here talked about state and central government. You can get subsidies. You can get subsidies. So if you are located in particular states, like Orissa government today gives pretty good subsidies, right? Among all the states, 2 states, I'm not saying others are bad, 2 states where I believe there's a lot of subsidy going around is where I felt, right, is Orissa, right? And the second one where I felt subsidy treatment was pretty good was Punjab, right? A subsidy could be either a lump sum payment or a percentage of your capital expenditure investment, right? So what the government would say, let me give you a very simple example. The government would say 2 crores or 3% of your plant and machinery. So as simple as that, right? Whichever is lower, right? Fact of the matter is there is a problem with subsidy. And this is a practical session. There is a problem with subsidy. The problem with subsidy is, my humble request is, there is a problem with subsidy. What is the problem with subsidy, Ashish sir? The problem with subsidy, Mr. Shobhit, is the government releases that funds, doc, only after you start commercial production. So somebody like Mr. Pawan, right, Mr. Gowde here would immediately say, I would need this money, Mr. Arun. The government is giving the money and I have accounted it as a means of finance. But suddenly I find the government is saying, okay, so to construct a building, I'm thinking that, okay, government's money is going to come in. Government is now saying that you finish the building and then I'll give you the money. So can I have a small response? Okay, how to solve this timing difference? And before two things, I am incompetent to discuss two things. I'll be very honest, right? Politics and religion. So I will not like to take questions on that because I'm incompetent. Let me put it the other way around. I'm incompetent to even answer a question on religion or politics. But without getting into a political side of it, and I'm not defending the government, government's logic is why government is doing it is, without even debating it, is because people have taken subsidies, sir, right? And thank you, right? Thank you for your smile. And they have taken subsidies and then allotted plots, and that's the end of it. There's been no commercial production start. So here is a condition. You want the money, ma'am, you'll get it. I need you to start commercial production. So that is the intent. How is it being implemented? I cannot discuss. I'm incompetent. And we are working professionals, so we know that. So how do you solve this problem with, Pawan sir, how do you solve this? Thank you, sir. Perfect. That's exactly why I came to you. I was sure you will promptly give it. That's it. For those dear colleagues who are looking at a solution here, please note a simple solution is when you have a timing difference. Thank you very much, sir, but it was expected. I'll be very honest, right? Is to go for bridge financing. Some of you all are very focused on learning on means of finance. Here is my first input. Whenever you have a timing difference, you would go for bridge financing. A bridge financing is nothing but keeping in mind your short-term requirements. So you would possibly go to, where is a good bridge financing organization without naming the other institutions as good or bad. My experience for small and medium enterprises, which some of my dear friends are, is I have been seeing that it is the state financial corporations which will give you a bridge finance. State financial corporations. SIDBI, some of you all will say, but I would leave it to you all. SIDBI has been pretty good. Bridge financing, I already said, right, on others, if you're looking for some experience sharing. Currently, the last 18 months, I have been realizing one thing, without talking about other specific banks, if you could note why, because I'm recording this. The reason why I'm recording it is I'm going to put it on the website. I'll be very honest. This is going to come on the website. So whenever you want to access, you could access at a larger audience. So I'll not like to take bank-specific questions publicly. I'll talk about the good ones. Among the nationalized banks, Union Bank of India is doing an exceptionally good work in bridge financing. Exceptionally good work in bridge financing. So if you get this right, I will refrain from making comments. Bridge financing is basically to take care of your timing difference. Having said that, how do you estimate the cost of land? Before I continue, you will estimate your cost of land. This came from one of you all, and I totally agree. Not by, Pawan sir, last comment, not by market value. It will go by stamp duty value. It will clearly go by stamp duty value. For those of you all who are wondering how cost of land is estimated, the cost of land is estimated by, right, procurement cost, purchase cost, plus cost of development, plus cost of development. Purchase cost clearly goes as, sorry if I've upset a colleague there, but this is the way it is, right? It seriously goes by stamp duty value. Why I want Mr. Pawan to speak is I want to finish by saying we have a serious problem. The serious problem that we have, ma'am, is a very serious problem, Deepa ma'am, other colleagues, is we are